Tuesday, September 19th, 2023. And here's the hidden Bitcoin signal that no one's talking about that I'm going to tell you about. Yeah, whatever. Get my fancy screen on, splash screen, number chart, you know, arrows going up, going down, surprise the face. There it is. 10,000 views. Nope, not going to talk about that. Because that's just clickbait. All you got to do is just buy it and hang on to it for a little bit longer, probably 2 years. A year and a half, whatever. I think by April of next year, we'll be out of the woods. I mean, we've really got 6 months, I think. Well, I'll put it this way. I think, again, I'm looking at the seasons for everything. We've got an equinox. Oh, I should turn my lights on, huh? Since it's sprinkling a little bit. But the equinox is coming up, the fall equinox, this Saturday, the 23rd. And, of course, everybody's talking about the 23rd. Everything's happening on the 23rd. Could be. Don't know. I know where I'll be. Where I'm at every day. So, the 23rd equinox. That is... Think about it. If people are into magic and controlling the universe, and when the energies of the universe shift, those are big days. The equinox, equal day and night. But I think our crypto market, I think we're still sideways, possibly up, with a potential nasty dip correction back to the lows of this cycle. I mean, I think we could still see that, but I think that happens in the next 6 months between this equinox and the spring equinox in March. I think by April, and again, I'm just speculating. I'm just thinking, looking at the charts, long-term energy, all that stuff. I think by April of next year, we will be decisively in the upswing in the bull market. I think we're in the bull market now. It's just a very early stage of it, and we could have a complete, wipeout, complete dive, scare event like we did with in the last cycle with the COVID thing. That could happen. But it's still, the trend is up, but you might have a road, little deviation there. But anyway, I think by April of next year, it's smooth sailing. So you don't need the hidden Bitcoin chart, the hidden message of crypto. Just know that every 4 years, it goes through a cycle, an emotional cycle, and that's all it is. It's our humanity, our emotions from the humanity that participates in it, and the powers that be play those waves, and maximum pain, maximum pleasure. So you want to hold that stuff for maximum pleasure. Hold off. Don't sell too early, and you'll be fine. So if you're an investor in crypto, I would think the best thing to do right now at these low prices is to accumulate. Any dips, accumulate more. And just know that by April, and we're getting rain, by April of next year, I think we're out of the woods, and I think it'll continually just step up until probably a massive top in 2025, when you can check all your boxes, retire, and do all that fun stuff. I wasn't even going to talk about crypto today. I was going to talk about the F-35 stealth plane. Well, it's so stealthy you can't find it. Well, apparently they found it. And you listen to the language, though. You listen to the language of the reporters. Apparently found it. Supposedly did this and that. I don't know. The whole thing's a little fishy. It's like a Roswell thing. You hear one story, then another story, and pretty soon it's like, what is the real truth? The truth of this is, though, the Marines have grounded all flights internationally. All the planes around the world for 2 days. Why would they do that? Because one plane went down. See that? Doing things like that makes me think there's either another agenda or something has, it's either like a stand down order to where we're not, we're defenseless in the air for 2 days, and hey, come blow us up, drop things on us, shoot things over. Yeah, more balloons from China will be floating over. Not that we shoot them down anyway. So that's one thing. The other thing is what happened that scared them to ground everything. Was this thing, let's go, Was this thing taken down by a UFO, steered down by a UFO? Was there foreign intelligence, foreign countries that were able to take control and commandeer, what's this? Okay. Commandeer the plane, and the pilot had to jump out. The pilot will probably know. Problem is, you're not going to have access to that pilot. He's been debriefed and threatened at this point. But it just makes you wonder, why ground planes for 2 days unless you feel there's an imminent threat of some sort that can't have these things in the air because this could happen again. See, that's just what my logical, just on the ground thinking tells me. Okay, we got to get the planes out of the sky because we don't want this happening again. For whatever reason. Could be a malfunction, could be, something to do with the tracking. Who knows? I don't know. It's so sophisticated. There's all these things that it's hard telling what it might be. But I think when you boil it down, that's exactly what it comes down to. They are afraid to fly until they get a handle on it because this could happen again. So let's not let it happen again. Let's ground everything. We don't need a $100 million aircraft blowing up. And the first number I heard was $140 million aircraft, then a $80 million aircraft, then a $100 million aircraft. There's all these different numbers. Maybe it had heated seats. Maybe it's the add-on items, the cooled seats, the heated seats, and, special side defoggers or something like that. That's the discrepancy in the pricing. I don't know how that goes. When you order one of these things, what options that you have. Maybe there's a base model, then you've got the mid-range, then you got the luxury model. Maybe that's the $80 to $140 million spread. Or maybe that's based on the value of the dollar, what it costs. Well, today it's this, and tomorrow it's that, because the dollar's fluctuating, and it's all going to zero. I don't know. It's a lot of money. 10 of those, $1 billion. What's $1 billion? We create more than that in, I don't even know what it is, a day easily. Just created out of nothing. Counterfeited out of nothing. So you get 10 planes. Cool, get 10 planes. $33 trillion in debt. Yesterday, that was kind of the news going around. Well, the U.S. has now exceeded $33 trillion in debt. Three. I don't know, there's probably some significance to that number, 33. But yeah, $33 trillion in debt. I can't even fathom it. That's what we owe. That's what the U.S. bankrupt corporation owes to whatever bondholder, bank, interest, whoever the counterparty is. That's what you owe. $33 trillion. And then if you pay that back, which you can't do because of the nature of the banking system, the monetary system we have, you can't pay it back because there's debt attached to every note. You can't pay back all the debt. And anyway, you got to create more debt to service the debt, blah, blah, blah. That's how you get into this situation. So it's all fiction. It's all magic tricks. It really doesn't matter. $33 trillion. You got to pay that back. And then you're solvent again. And then you're not spending any more than you take in. Oh, wait, yeah, you're still doing that. Shoot. So it really doesn't matter. There's no way to make this thing right. It's as though you've got a household income of $50,000, but you've probably got, $1 million in credit card debt. You're never going to pay it back. Okay? There's no way. Just not going to happen. So, yeah, that's where we're at. And everybody's worried about, we're going to have a temporary resolution to keep the government going. Man, are we sick of this kicking the can stuff? It really doesn't matter. Just go ahead and counterfeit to oblivion and be done with it. Just don't even care. Why do we worry about this stuff? Just do it. Destroy it, the currency. Just completely evaporate it. Doesn't matter. I mean, what they should do is have a jubilee of sorts to where you just come in. If I were president, this is what I would do. I'd be a tyrannical president, but for the people. I would just say, we're doing this. That's the way it is. Then I'd leave. Go in there and say, all right, we're wiping all this out. We're issuing all these, $1 trillion platinum coins. Everybody gets one. All your debts are paid off. We're paying off the house. That's what I do. These banks, they own the notes on this stuff. Wall Street owns all these mortgage-backed securities. I say, all right, come in, we're paying it all off. You just issue the check, print up all these $1 trillion platinum coins, and then you pay off everything with it. It's like, oh, we're going to pay off Joe's house for this, Tom's house for this, Westwood's house for this, and you just create the money, zero the debt with the bank, F them, who gives a crap, give them garbage, you know what, stamped on there, full faith and credit, or just silver coins, make a special silver coin, because that's sound money. It's actually legal tender. So what you do is you make a bunch of silver 1 ounce rounds, everybody gets one, and it's worth $100 million. And so you just wipe out all the debt. Now, it's going to destroy the whole monetary system at that point, but it'll cancel all the debt, and it'll be just like, hey, we'll just reshuffle the cards and say, all right, we're starting over, but we're not starting over with debt-based money. We're going to go back to constitutional money or blockchain-based money. We're going to go back to a Litecoin standard. How's that? So, I mean, it's just that simple. Quit playing the game. I mean, quit feeding it and quit playing with these, print up a bunch of poker chips and just say, all right, we're paying all the debts with it. Everybody's clear. Everybody's paid off. You have what you have at that point. At least you've got wealth, you've got value, you've got stuff. I mean, you have no debt, and you start over. And screw it, done. And then I'd leave. That's all right, and I'll figure it out. I'm not here to fix your problems. I'm just here to wipe away all the vampires. Now I'm out. Oh, man. It's just... But instead, we're going to play this game. We'll play this game of, well, we got to come up with a few, hundreds of billions of dollars to keep the government working and get through September, because we're going to have a shutdown. It's going to shut down the DC corporation's going to shut down and not work. All right, cool. Sounds like a good movie to me. Tell you, an even better movie is the one Lauren Boebert went to see over the weekend. I don't know if it was over this weekend, but the one she was, in. I wouldn't mind going to see that movie. That's the one thing that's missing from that. I don't know if you're familiar with this. Lauren Boebert, I think out of Colorado. She's a representative, and she's rather pulchritudinous. And so you've got... word of the day, pulchritudinous. So you've got her going to this movie theater. Apparently she's going through a divorce. I don't think she's divorced yet. There's a lot of things here, a lot of factors at play. Apparently the husband's protesting the divorce. So she's in this, she goes on a date, goes into a movie theater. They're on the aisle. The guy she goes with's on the aisle. She's in the next seat. And then you can see her. She's got her, outfit on, very pulchritudinous, very revealing. And I mean, you see him trying to feel her up. It's really awkward looking. Somebody mentions like trying to milk a cow awkwardly. I mean, just the way he was fumbling over. I don't know, it's just weird. So, but the rumor is he's a Democrat, she's a Republican. It could be a setup, to where, he was maybe coerced to do this and make the moves on her and make her look bad. Well, she was in there vaping, gets thrown out. I guess the question, there's two things. I don't know, somebody gains from this. He might have gained that night. Her too. Because she looked like she was having fun. Watch the hands. So they're watching them in this movie theater with a camera. And I mean, it's the night vision camera where you see everything. I mean, you think you're in a dark movie theater. Oh, yeah, right. You're not getting away with anything anymore if they've got cameras in there. I didn't know they had cameras in movie theaters. What happened to the good old days? You go relax, just escape reality, be able to watch a movie on a screen with, just being left alone, going with your girl or something. Well, everybody's watching you now. So the interesting thing to me is the camera is focused right on her and her date, happens to be like right there, unless they've got multiple cameras. I mean, but this one, it was right on her. And then as she got walked out, the camera followed. They kicked her out because she's vaping. Got complaints. But the camera followed. So that makes me think, okay, somebody's actively, sitting there with the camera, remotely controlling the camera, watching this whole thing. And I'm like, how many resources does a movie theater have? I mean, they can't be like have a whole security staff like a casino, you have people watching all the time. No, I would think they'd have fixed cameras and then they review it. It's like a convenience store. You go into a convenience store, there's not somebody back there looking through the camera, scanning and moving and watching all this stuff. It's like, it doesn't make any sense. So why at a movie theater Do you have an active camera, you know, watching this whole scene perfectly unfold, and then as she gets kicked out, follows her up the aisle? It's like, okay, somebody's actively engaged in recording this and you know, watching this whole thing. So who's doing this? That was my first thought. And then the big thing is, you know, what movie did they go to? Nobody's talking about what movie they went to. I'm curious what movie they went to, because, you know, it seems a little exciting, that kind of movie. You know, it perks up the interest a little bit. But no, they didn't talk about that at all. Not talking about the movie. What movie it was. Who knows? I don't even know what's out right now with the writers' strike and all that, you know. Oh, my favorite programming this season's not. Oh, American Horror Story. Am I going to have an American Horror Story this year? Probably not, because the writers are on strike. I'm not happy about this. Actually, that tells a lot of truth, those American Horror Story. You know, if you watch it, you know, it reveals a lot of truth of what's happened. So, well, I want to check some of that out. It is a little on the dark side, can get a little raunchy, a little uncomfortable, but it does leak out a lot of truth. It's one of those shows. You just got to see past all that stuff. Is it worse than what Lauren Boebert and her, you know, man for the weekend were engaged in at the movie theater? I don't know. Hard to say. Depends on your personal affectations, I guess. All right. It is Tuesday. Hope you have a wonderful day. And that's your crypto signal. Just acquire it, hold it in your own possession. Don't give it to a bank. Don't give it to a vampire. Crypto is going to be important. If you don't think it is, then you don't live in reality, because everything is digital. It is going more digital. The money's going digital. Everything's going digital. I don't want the vampire digital system to where they're going to give me a central bank digital currency. I want the sovereign humanity system to where I can use a decentralized form of currency like Litecoin that has been running for almost 12 years now. Next month, I think it is Friday the 13th of next month, it'll be 12 years nonstop. Never failed. Litecoin, 84 million, only enough for 0.01 of a coin per person on this planet. Whether it's a globe or it's a disc or it's halfway in between like a snow globe. Don't know. It doesn't matter. Finite supply. And if we aren't living on a flat earth that's contained, flat earth that is contained and we can't get out of it, and we can get out of it, and we can go to Mars, the best form of money on Mars is Litecoin. Litecoin is Mars money. Boom. Instantaneous transaction. There we go. Sound money for the digital age. Sound money for the digital universe. Sound money for eternity. Litecoin. Look into Litecoin if you haven't. Nonstop, 12 years. Mimble-wimble. Privacy feature built in. Litecoin, the better Bitcoin. Litecoin, the money that Bitcoin wants to be, but it can't. All right, love you all. Have a wonderful day. It's Tuesday, Tuesday. Don't trust the vampires. Trust yourself. You're part of something greater. Acknowledge that. All right, love you all.